Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to check in and make sure you guys know that there is more to come. And I truly appreciate when you guys are with me and are there. I do. So again, thank you for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. I still got it. But we are going to continue with making more free content. I will be making more Patreon and Spotify episodes that will be exclusive to what we talk about on them, respectfully, as opposed to just free content that you can just be able to listen to and watch on, those platforms as well. So yeah, we are going to talk about SZA. I have been meaning to talk about SZA for a while. I wanted to make sure that I had a sense of where to begin with talking about her albums and her artistry and just her as a whole. So we are going to talk about her first album, the Control album, CTRL. We are going to talk about it. And we will talk about her second album too, but let's talk about her first album. So yes, Control is the debut studio album by American singer-songwriter SZA. It was released on June 9th, 2017 by Top Dog Entertainment and RCA Records. The album features guest appearances from Travis Scott, Kendrick Lamar, James Fauntleroy, I think, and Isaiah Rashad. Production was handled by Craig Balmores, Frank Dukes, Carter Lang, Scum, and Thank God for Cody, among others. The album was supported by 5 singles: Drew Barrymore, Love Galore, The Weeknd, Broken Clocks, and Garden, Say It Like That, all of which are certified double platinum or higher by the Recording Academy. So all 5 of those singles, I know them. You may know them too. I love them. We'll get into the track list, of course. Upon release, Control was a massive critical and commercial success and catapulted SZA into stardom. The album received acclaim from music critics, many of whom praised its cohesiveness and production, as well as SZA's vocal delivery. The album debuted at number 3 on the U.S. Billboard 200, moving 60,000 equivalent units in its first week. Mind you, and hold on, I'm gonna get to what I'm about to say too. The album and its songs were nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, while SZA was nominated for Best New Artist as well. It was also included in several year-end best music lists by publications. The album was ranked at 472 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list. So I know in recent times there have been artists that may have not charted, whether it's their songs or their albums, as high as the public may have already, expected, suspected, whatever the case may be. What I want to say, and this is just me speaking for myself here, y'all need to support and stream and buy, and if y'all really will see what y'all like. I feel as though, for me, this album could have went higher. A lot of albums could have went higher. And I feel like, based on how hard she worked to have this put out, there was just a lot that, she was doing up until when she was about to release this. So, yeah, she signed with TDE, and she had released Z in 2014, and that was her EP at the time. This was her 3rd extended EP, because she had a few. Like, y'all need to really get into her. Like, she's been out for a while, and following the release of Z, she began working on her debut album and writing for artists like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. And was also on consideration with Rihanna for Auntie's opening track. So, you know, from her having appearances in projects and songs, or even albums, I should say, with artists that were really like blowing up at the time, it was like, well, you know, who is she? Then at the start of 2016, you know, there was a lot of setbacks for her. And she still to this day has always been vocal about when and how she would want to release things. And I've told y'all, like, doing things independently is really, you know, maybe the way to go about a lot. Not even maybe, is. I've said is in plenty of videos. I'm only saying maybe just to have people understand that maybe that's the right choice. Only because you have more of a sense of control. You get to be able to do more for you. There's no someone behind you like, I don't know if I want you doing that. Like, there's no. You do all that. You know, it's all you. So, I mean, look at what I'm doing. This is all me. It may not be the best yet, but it's all me, you know, and I don't want to take that away from anyone for however they do it. You know, you gotta do what's best for you. But yeah, she felt like she wanted to quit at one point. It had gone to that point that she wanted to quit. But yeah, she had Z be her third EP. She had S be her second EP. And then there was C Scissor Run, you know. It just she's just been through a lot. Yeah, speaking on the conception of the album, SZA stated that she has spent 4 years just doing music. Wow, I've been bearing bearing friends, bearing family members, bearing weight, the way I feel about myself, the way I feel about God, the way I process information. The album was also inspired by SZA's new view of control in her life. Just, she wanted to really be out to show the world her talent, and I respect it. The singles started to, you know, flourish in the beginning of 2017. So Drew Barrymore was the first single that came out January 13th, 2017. So as of now, that was 8 years ago. Okay. And then you had, I know, right? 2017 was 8 years ago. Where did the time go? All right. So yeah, let me continue. Then Love Galore came out April 28th, 2017. And then The Weeknd, which was September 26, 2017. So by September, the album's already out. People are already kind of hearing, you know, each song and realizing like, wow, she's really going off here. And yeah, despite, you know, the Grammys in 2018, she released Broken Clocks January 9th, 2018, and Garden June 19th, 2018, as singles. So, but as far as, you know, the writing process, and I've said this a lot with different artists in my previous videos. There's artists that really work like all day, all night, like music. Okay, like this instrument here, this you know, this you know, crop this out, you know, place this, like all day. Like, this is their life. This is what they do. And because SZA could not decide on the song she wanted on the finished album from the 150 to 200 she recorded, okay? And this is the first album. Never mind the second. So she has over 100 songs that she's made. Demos, finished, however you want to look at it. Songs, plural. And there was literally about 14, 15 that she just said, all right, we got to really put this into an album. And composing all that, where it's primarily alternative R&B and neo soul with elements of hip hop, pop, soul, electronic, and indie, you know, there was a sense that she, you know, wanted people to hear a little bit more of what she was into as opposed to what's not really out there. And that's important, because a lot of times when you're hearing the same thing, you kind of feel like that's the norm. And it's like, no, there's all types of variants of different things that you could be really into. There's multiple references in all of her songs. You know, 90s references, I should say, which I appreciate because she is a 90s girl. I'm a 90s guy. So it's just like, you know, we come from a time. They don't talk about our time like that. You know, they replicate it in you know, various ways, but you know, the 90s won't ever be, I miss the 90s. But yeah, she did a few performances, had traveled and toured, and I kind of wish I had seen her on her first tour, because she was actually not too far from me in Rhode Island. I'm in Massachusetts, but she wasn't too far from me. So it was like, well, wait a minute now. Well, she actually was here on the SOS tour, but I didn't get to see her. But I will. I want to see her this coming tour. I do. But yeah, let's go into the critical reception. Received widespread critical acclaim from music critics. It just great album. There wasn't really any skips for me. Very much back to back. Yeah, top 10 soul and R&B albums of 2017, ranked at number 1. There's a few number 1s over here. Vice, Time, Nosy, New York Daily News, top 25 best albums of 2017. She's ranked up number 1 on that too. Like, there was a lot that people were able to see from SZA in this era, that now it's like, that was her real, like, get into me. Like, now, you know SZA down, but it's just like, this was where it was just like, get into me, get familiar. There's so much more that I can be able to give if y'all really rocking with me, and that be really what it be. When you let an artist flourish and really appreciate them, there's more they'll give. There's more that they won't feel like they can't give, because it's like, it's what they love, it's who they are. Yes, Solana. Yes. But yes, number 1 is Supermodel for the track listing. Track 2 is Love Galore featuring Travis Scott. Track 3 is Doves in the Wind featuring Kendrick Lamar. So by track 3, I'm chilling, you know. I know that people really, you know, were shocked to see her not have as many features, I should say. But that's the thing about R&B, or just being an artist. It don't have to always be features. You can feature yourself, but you don't have to always feature everybody on whatever you do, you know? It can be however you want it to be. Track 4 is Drew Barrymore. Track 5 is Prom. I love the song Prom. It gives you a sense of, like, where am I going? Listening to that song and you're like on the go, really motivates you. The Weeknd, same thing. I love that song. It's a good song. The thing about The Weeknd, I think what it was is, I think that not everybody was prepared, or like, I definitely wasn't prepared. I was like, oh my god, like, she's really like singing. And I think what it was for me is, again, the instruments, the way that the vibe is, you know, you don't always hear people have, like, what's the best way I should say it? Like, you know how when you go on to an album, let's just think of any album you can think about, and you really embrace it, you really love what they're saying, how they're conveying their messages, and you're really appreciating their work, right? The thing is with SZA that I was realizing in this time was, we had R&B singers, and we have still R&B singers, but there's this thing about R&B and rap that has been really like, I just said it, different, just really out there, just really just in your face. Just, you don't always hear a cohesive album where it's just the era is the era. It's never just get into whatever I'm doing era. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is, back in the time that I was growing up, when you had an album, you had a fucking album. Like, you had an album. Like, you had the imagination of what those visuals will be like until they fucking put it out there. Nowadays, oh yeah, no. A new song's coming out. Obviously, there's a video too. Like, you know, there's just, I don't know. Like, SZA gave that sense of mysteriousness that she was pulling from her EPs, and I feel it in this album here, where it was just like, y'all gonna know me, and y'all gonna know me on time that I give. And a lot of artists are now being able to see from all the work that they do, that they can do on things on their time, you know, and it's okay. But in the 2000s, there was no time. Get out there. Nowadays, with streaming and, you know, of course, with a lot going on in the outside world, it's kind of better to be able to just kind of give people an understanding, like, hey, you know, we're in 2025. I can actually let you know that this is not going to happen, instead of just actually just feeling like, oh no, fans will understand, they can wait. It's like, no, they need to actually know like what you're doing at some point, just to kind of give them a sense that you are active. And I've said this before. So track 7 is Go Gina. Track 8 is Garden, Say It Like That. And I'm not skipping past these two tracks. So it's track 7 and track 8, the way they flow together, it's just amazing. Go Gina is very chill. You know, whether you're having a cute drink or having a little smoke, you know, you're just chilling, just with your friends, just with your loved one, or just you just out riding out, or you just having a good time. Just, it's a good song to put on. Broken Clocks is track 9, but of course with Garden, you know, it's really her letting someone know, you know, how much love she can be able to give and receive, okay? Because, I mean, she said it, because I love you just how you are. Hope you never find out who I really am. And I'm gonna end up saying the lyrics, I'm sorry. Track 10 is Anything. I love this song because, you know, it's just a really futuristic feel vibe. You know, you get to really, you know, just feel her essence in this song for me. And I think that she just, I don't know, it's not long enough. Track 11 is Wavy Interlude featuring James Fauntleroy. Track 12 is Normal Girl. Track 13, Pretty Little Birds featuring Isaiah Rashad. And then track 14, 20 Something. So there are deluxe edition bonus tracks. I will talk about them, because why not? So track 15, Love Galore Alternative Edition. Track 16, 2 a.m. Track 17, Miles. Track 18, Percolator. Track 19, Tread Carefully. Track 20, Awkward. And track 21, Jody. So the thing is about these bonus tracks that I feel as though I appreciate is the fact that you can hear the fact that she's transitioning into SOS. And I think that that's what a lot of artists are now tapping into with their deluxe. Like, you don't want to not give enough of where that era was able to, you know, have enough to give. And I think that was what was very important with Control. I think that was important at its time, and even just recently, because those deluxe edition bonus tracks just came out, I gotta say, maybe last year or the year before, just very much recently. So again, I completely love this album. I appreciate it, and we will definitely talk about SOS too. And yeah, she released Lana, the deluxe for SOS. So we will be talking about that in hopefully our next video. But I thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I'll be back with more.